What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel for this real quick update. First, want to thank everybody for the comments, for the love and support, the little bit of videos I've been able to put up in the last like 2 weeks. And I do want to do more. As I get caught up with things financially, I'm hoping to be able to spend more time just kind of looking for shorter trips that are just going to help generate content, especially around like maybe theme parks or the coastal areas. But I definitely, with all the questions and sort of confusion in the comment section of the last 2 videos, I feel like I need to take, 3 to 5 minutes here to address a few things. So yes, I'm still in my 2020 Tesla Model 3. This is Mew. This is the car that y'all have known and loved for years. And I am not super famous on YouTube or rolling in Tesla stock or rolling in any sort of revenue, period. And that is to say, I am not in a position to just get a new Tesla. And, this isn't to, come at anybody in the comments who's just genuinely wondering, like, why I haven't upgraded. So I hope nobody, gets, butthurt or feels kind of attacked with this. But I'm a regular guy, my friends. I can't just flip around and buy a new car like some of you might be able to. Those of you who are able to, upgrade your cars and you've got that extra cash and it's not as much of a concern for you, the hell yeah, awesome. Do your thing. That is fantastic. That's not the case for me. I'm in a lot of debt. We've just moved back to Florida about a year ago. We went into quite a bit of debt with the move, not to mention just changes that were made here. Uber and Lyft pays like friggin' dirt here compared to California. And I've gotten my real estate license and with some ambitions to get that growing up, but it's been its own sort of struggle. A couple of buyers that I've had, I managed to get one house closed, which was great. That was a nice paycheck. And it helped kind of catch up on some of the investment into real estate because I went deep there too, between getting licensed, the expense that followed there, paying realtor dues. I mean, these were thousands of dollars of transactions that also translated into credit card debt and such if I didn't have the cash up front for it because, mortgage bills, this, that, and the other, everything you guys can imagine. So this isn't a boo-hoo story or a sob story. This is just me giving you all the reality of the situation, the facts. And I'm working hard to make the growth happen in my channels to help alleviate some of that. I'm also working with buyers. I am an actual licensed realtor here in the state of Florida too. So if you guys are looking for houses, you got friends and family looking for houses, keep me in mind, my friends. I've got the link in the description to my real estate contacts, whether it's listing houses for sale, looking for a house to buy. I'm in that business too, trying to grow it. It's in the early rough starts. I'm with a team, I'm with a brokerage, and I've got family that's in it. But it's, it's a challenge. Like anything that's worth doing, it's not going to be easy. That also translates into the YouTube space. Like, sure, I'm not as relevant with not having version 13, version 14 FSD, and no, I don't own a Cybertruck. If some of you just kind of saw that there was a Cybertruck on my channel, that was at the good graces of my buddy Patrick. Big thanks to him again for having let me use it, and it was great for generating some content on the channel. It was a lot of fun. He's a new daddy now, so I am really excited for him and his wife. And they need that truck. They need all of their resources to take care of a newborn. So we had an understanding that when that time came, yeah, I mean, we also live an hour and a half apart from each other. So massive shout out and thank you to him for just trusting me with his beast of a truck. But it isn't mine. So I have this Model 3, and then my wife has a 2020 Model Y. She is looking to get the R2 next year, so that'll just be kind of fun content covering our life with having a Tesla and a Rivian in the house. I still want the Tesla Model Y. I'm battling with the realistic idea of whether or not I can get performance. I might just have to go base model for a while just to get into a new Model Y, hopefully within the next year or two. Like, you guys gotta, again, understand, I don't just have the money lying around. I'm still $12,000 deep into the car loan for this car here. Trade-in value is barely $8,000 on this car, so I'm negative there. I've got negative equity there. There's a lot of factors that make it pretty much impossible right now. Debt to income, not having the down payment money, this, that, and the other, for not being able to get into a new Tesla. So that's why I don't have one. That's why I don't have version 14 content. I might be able to do some reactions to version 14 content or talk about it, and I am so happy to continue showing how Hardware 3 performs. I've already seen some comments that are surprised that Hardware 3 still does so well because you get used to the newest stuff, and it's not too hard to imagine that, you know, older stuff is probably not up to par. And I was chatting, so I actually missed my turn here into the supercharger before I head back to the house to do another thing that is growing really well, which is my gaming channel. I am on YouTube, Twitch, and X, all at CPT_deadwake. Link will be in the description. Maybe I'll throw it up on the screen for you guys. That channel's been on a tear. Momentum's really kicked off with Star Citizen and the space sci-fi gaming genre. And, you know, me, you know, giving a lot of tips and advice guides and just gameplay and live streaming on the hauling industrial side of that game. It's been amazing. The growth there has been wild. And there's a lot of potential there that can really fuel the change in my life to be able to do more. So I am really leaning in. I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from noon to about 1500 or 3 p.m. on Star Citizen, and then the rest of the week I am working either doing Uber and Lyft or trying to get real estate stuff or editing videos. So I'm always on the grind. We're also tackling this freaking yard. We've almost got our whole front yard tore up with the torpedo grass infestation that some of y'all might know about from my posts on X. So we're still doing that at our own time and expense. My wife and I both. She's been a huge help with the labor of getting the yard torn up, and we've been a hell of a tag team there, while also battling now in our neighborhood a new gopher infestation. So yeah, when it rains, it pours. It has been crazy, but we are constantly working hard and trying to move forward in so many different avenues. And thanks again for all the love and support from everybody. So, you know, check out all the links, check out all the content if you guys like, and I will be doing what I can to get out more Tesla content. I love the comments, you know, mentioning me on X when Out of Spec was asking if anybody's still running version 3, hardware 3, version 12 FSD. And yeah, man, I am, until I get my hands on a new Tesla. So I think I've wasted y'all's time enough, or taken up enough time. I will catch you guys in future videos. I'm going to get charged up and get back to it. So till then, see you later.